place right down the street.
They don't know. Oh. Hi, Jerry.
Red 2, 3. Surprise!
Surprise! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jerry. Happy birthday to you.
My whole family's here. And there's Peter Brown
Okay.
and Margaret's
Surprise.
family.
Are you surprised?
And all of Margaret's family there.
I would.
And do you know that,
We tried to celebrate your birthday closer to your birthday, but the weather did not cooperate. Right. So we are going to celebrate it today, and we're going to take a little ride through memory lane, and from where you grew up to where your father's shoe shop was, to Aero Truck Sales, to all the important places in your life. And everybody here who's with you is here, all the people that love you and care about you. And Lucille's here.
Hi,
Lucille's here.
Aren't you proud of me? I didn't even give this up.
Can't believe the whole Peter Brown's here, and Howard's here, and Leslie, and Jean, and I'll lock the door, and we'll get ready to get on the bus. Okay, I think we're going here. Hard. I guess I'm the one who's going to get you on birthday.
Good. Nice to see you. Happy birthday. Right? We're right on time, right?
I don't know.
Here's your birthday boy.
How are you? You don't look at me. I'm 75. Hi there. How are you?
Really appreciate everybody being here. This is very special. We're very lucky to have them both. Okay. So I'm going to turn over the mic when we get to the different sites and let Dad speak about the history of these places and what it means to him. And I want to thank Brenda for being here, and Nancy for being here, and everybody else. We don't know where we would be without you ladies on a daily basis, and been a great godsend to us.
Hello.
Hi, Jerry.
I just want to say that this is a very much a surprise. I was going to sleep in today, but Nancy from Kenya woke me up, told me to get dressed, and I had tennis shoes on, and she says you can't wear tennis shoes because they don't look good, so you have to wear regular shoes. Nancy's is here, has been here in the United States since July of last year. She bought a car. She's going to college. First she's going to be an RN, and then she wants to study to be a doctor. And today she told me that her sister is helping her by working long hours and making money so she can go to school to be a doctor. Excuse me. I want to tell you that I can't get over the surprise because I thought I'd have a leisure morning, which isn't going to be a fun morning, and enjoy my sleep. So So if I fall asleep, you'll have to wake me up. But I can't get over this. This is a replay of when we went to the Ozarks, probably, what, I mean, 15, 16?
Oh no, the Ozarks, it must have been, probably 30 years ago.
Lewis surprised us, and we went to the Ozarks, had a bus pull up, and we all got on. And I said, where are we going? He says, just sit still, you'll find out. We wound up in the Lake of the Ozarks, and it was a great trip. I can't thank you all enough for being here. It's going to be a great day. The rain's not coming till later. And I can't, this Nancy, I gotta get back to her. When I start pulling on something, she says, no, you gotta look nice. So, you all need to meet her. She's a very bright, educated young lady. Back to Lewis and Sue. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a complete surprise, because if I'd known that we were going to go on this trip, I probably would have dressed otherwise. But anyway, we're all here, and it's great. And to those who I haven't spoke to, I'll speak to you when we get to our destination, which could be California, New York, Detroit, and Winstead's. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Good job.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that keep falling down. I'll see what I can do to fix them.
He kept
Got
having
moved
to
back a couple of
change
times.
the date because the
It got
weather.
moved back a couple of times. Weather got bad. We got a bad snowstorm.
Oh, sorry. It smells good in here. Do you want the malt or the shake?
Thank you, baby.
I ordered it for you. This Winstead's has been here forever, and we used to come here and get a small cup of not ice cream, but like a Dairy Queen and a hamburger. And when we came here, the place was packed. And it's a fun place to come, and I haven't been here for many, many years.
It's 832,680 hours of living on Earth and counting, 60 years of trucking, limitless happy birthdays, Aaron and Richard. Yeah, I thought that was great. Very clever.
We're sitting in front of a hospital that I was born in. It's called Christian Scientist Hospital.
Really?
And years ago, one of my aunts, or maybe two of my aunts, were Christian Scientists, and possibly that's why I was born there. It's now called something else, I hope.
Welcome house.
Welcome home. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Now, where are we going
For
next?
alcoholic
What's on
men.
your list? Where are we going next?
This is the old hospital here?
Right. Yes, right here. Where are we going next, Ben?
What?
Where are we heading next? 207 Brooklyn.
Oh, good. That's my
Where is there? When is it 207 Brooklyn?
Hello, this is 207 Brooklyn.
The yellow.
This is where Howard Jacobson's father lived, and Grandma Jacobson and Aunt Yetta and Uncle Max Rubin. They had a son named Ray. Ray was same age as I am, maybe a little older. And when my mother died, I was here at this house. They were trying to park me someplace where it'd be out of the road. And Grandma Jacobson had someone go to the grocery store and get an orange crate. And on that orange crate, she parked it in the hallway as you walk in the door. And that's what you were supposed to sit on back then, 95 years ago, of something rough. This whole neighborhood, both sides of the street, were Italian, except for two Jews. That Jew, that family, and a family across the house isn't there anymore. But anyway, it was a safe. There's an alley, and the garage. That garage that you see was not there. It was a terrace. Howard, you want to say something?
No, I used to come over on Sunday morning with my dad to see Grandma.
Howard Jacobson said he used to go with his father to see Howard's grandmother and Uncle Abe's, Howard's father's mother. The whole thing, the back of any of these houses have alleys, and normally the alleys have garages. When Ray and I would walk up and down the alley, you could smell the stills. There were bootleggers. There were a lot of bootleggers here. But across the street on that corner was an ice house. And that ice house, nobody had refrigerators. They bought the man at that corner would deliver the ice. Okay, I think
Tell them how old you were when your mother died.
my mother was. I was 6 years old when my mother died, and it was. It's. Anyway, I'm here 95 years late. Not 80. What?
90.
81.
Well,
81 years.
Not
89 years. 89
89 years later.
89 years later, I'm in this bus with all you people, and I'm enjoying life, and it's going back into history as far as I'm concerned. I have one more thing to tell you about this neighborhood. Ray Rubin and I used to play down this. There used to be.
Talking to the mic then.
We played on Cliff Drive. Cliff Drive is not too far from here. And one time I got totally burnt to the sun from the waist up. And my aunt Yetta and Ray did too. She bowled us out from one side to the other in a nice way for getting burnt. But anyway, I am through, and what's the next stop?
The next stop is we're going to go to Beth Shalom Synagogue where you and Mom were married.
Next stop, Beth Shalom Synagogue, Old Synagogue. Thank you. Which is owned by the Tatar family, which includes Lucille Tatar. She's the main stockholder. Her daughters are Connie Mendolia and Peaches Cunningham. And I spent a little time at Central Bank. Maybe 30 or 40 years.
Let me
Maybe
just
more.
add something to this. As I tell you, there would be no central bank today if Jerry wasn't our dearest friend in the whole world. Because when Doc died, and he was not a good banker, I might add, he was good at everything else. Us kids were too damn young. We know, well, I still don't know what we're doing. So Jerry held it together until Joseph got old enough. Right, Jerry? Yes.
Right on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You will
It's our
always
pleasure.
be appreciative. Not for that, but for that, but also for being our friend. And this is one thing, because a few of us on the bus, like, this is the area we came from. And you know what I say? We never want to forget where we came from. I came from 9th Street, and I'm damn proud of it. Now I live out there with the big shots on 63rd Street. But I never want to forget where I came from, because if it wasn't 9th Street, I probably wouldn't be out to 63rd Street. And my husband grew up right behind where Jerry used to live. He didn't know him then, but maybe a couple of blocks from there.
Wow.
So I don't know where the rest of you
I was
are.
2 blocks that way.
And Anthony was 2 blocks. And you and that little Polly has never worked anyplace else but for Jerry at Central Bank.
That's what I was going to say.
I beat you,
Polly,
Jerry.
Heisman, and Kurt Schofield are some of my, well, they are my closest friends at Central Bank, and I really appreciate them. And how many times do we call you Polly in one day?
Nobody calls as many times as I do, because I gotta keep that money in those little things, and I still don't know what the hell they look like.
Morgan and I got married in the Beth Schwab Synagogue, which is located right here to your south. Now it's a church, I guess. I can't read the sign. But that was 73 years ago that we got married. And we had a big wedding. We had the rabbi, Margaret and I, Margaret's folks, Margaret's father's mother, and their big wedding reception. We got in my car and drove away after the wedding, so there was no reception. I gave the rabbi $2, and here I am 73 years later talking about it. This was a great synagogue. It's a bit, we're on the back or the front of it, I can't tell. Front, but it was very, it's probably one of the most deluxe synagogues in Kansas City. Other than
Father long hair also? Gilbert, your father long hair?
You don't have to have a great big
there's
wedding.
another synagogue up on Goodwood Boulevard that was B'nai
Yehuda. B'nai Yehuda.
The temple?
The temple.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm through. We now know where we got married. And we got married in 1941. In December 7th of 41 is when Pearl Harbor was. And then in January of 42, or February, I enlisted in the Army, but didn't go to the Army at that time.
Uncle Jerry, that's where Marcia and Jean got married too.
Marcia and Jean Darren got married at synagogue. We're at 39th in Brooklyn. On the northwest corner was Otter's Drugstore. And they used to deliver. Up the street was my dad's shoe repair shop, and he was there for 50 years. And there was an upstairs, there was a 2-story building, and one day he went up to the Humpty Dumpty Confectionery, which was on the corner. He gave anybody that had their shoes fixed, he gave them a 5-cent card. They could take it to Humpty Dumpty and get some candy or ice cream cone or whatever. But one day he had taken it, go up there to take him to pay her, the lady, and a girl came by and she walked in the shoe repair shop. Young girl says, "Is your father here?" And I says, "No." She says, "Well, when he comes back, tell him his awning's on fire." So there was an awning over the shop. So I ran up and got him. They called the fire department, put it out. But a lady on the second floor, there were no screens, had thrown a cigarette out, but it landed on the awnings, and that set the awning on fire. He was there for 50 years, and he had a sign in his window said "Open." And when we closed up the shop, I think Lewis took the sign and gave it to his ex and told her to get it fixed. And when she got to she picked out this company to get it fixed and said, "I have an open sign that hung in my father-in-law's shoe repair shop." And the lady says, "Is your name Nerman?" And she says, "Yes." She says, "Well, I lived upstairs of your shoe repair shop, and I made the sign, so bring it to me and I will repair it." Right now, this sign is shining in Lewis's office, Truck Center of America. So figure out how old that neon sign is. It's old. I am through talking.
Your book. I just copied it. Right here, stop. About 39. What was the address, Dad? 4018, excuse me. 4018, next block. Well, wait a minute. No, we wouldn't pass it. 4018 is the other way. No,
it should be this way.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're going the right way. Here it is. 4018.
14 right there.
14.
20, that's on the lot. Look, it's a huge house.
It's right here.
Empty lot.
Yeah, push it in. When I was born, they brought me home to 4018 Brooklyn, which there was a house right here, and I have to tell you about this house. The house was brick, and when we moved my folks to President Gardens, the house became vacant naturally, and I asked, there was a couple of black gentlemen that came to the Aero truck sales on 17th Prospect, and I told them one day, I said, "I've got this house," and I said, "I think I should give it away because I don't have the time and energy to sell it." And they said, "Well, give it to the Martin Luther King Hospital, which was on Prospect." So I did, and then they took possession, but they never moved in. And one day Margaret says, "Why don't you go to your house and get those 2 flower pots that were on the outside?" And I said, "Well, I don't know if they'll get them to me." So anyway, I went to 4018 Brooklyn where it was sitting, and the house had been demolished. The windows had been taken out. All the copper gone, all the utilities, the stove, refrigerator, and that brings up another story. When I was about 7 years old, there was a PTA, the Parent Teachers Association had a picnic out at Fairland Park, and I went to the picnics naturally, and we rode out on streetcars. One time my dad would give me $1 or 50 cents to go out there. One time, they had a drawing for a Mayflower refrigerator or a bicycle. And they called the number, and the number was mine. So I yelled, and I said, "Come on up, son." I walked up to the podium, and then they called another number, and a woman walked up. She wanted a bicycle. So while we're up there, she's telling me, "Why don't you give me your ticket for the refrigerator, and I'll give you my ticket for the bicycle?" I says, "No, lady, my dad will give me a bicycle because we don't have a refrigerator." And we were the only refrigerator on the block at 40th and Brooklyn. And the neighbors were so excited that they wouldn't let me ride streetcar home. They took me home, and they rang the bell, and my dad came to the door in BVDs. Now, if you don't know what a BVD is, it's a one-piece underwear. Anyway, we had no more ice man come to our house. Thank you for listening. Aunt and uncle had a shoe repair shop on the west side of Woodland, and on the east side of Woodland was Zeff's department store. About right here, maybe.
Yeah, right here.
And I went, my aunt said, "Why don't you go over and see that?" So I went over to Zeff's department store, and I met Barnett, and we had a nice conversation. And she helped her sister, which owned the place with her husband. And when I went back and told my Aunt Lena that I just met the girl I'm going to marry. And that's love at first sight, believe it or not. Anyway, we dated for about a year, and we got married in 1941, as I've told you. And December 7th of 41 was Pearl Harbor, and so that kind of messed things up. But anyway, after spending 4 years in the Army, I'm here alive and got all my limbs. Thank you. Right there on the corner was a grocery store, and on the second floor was where Margaret and I had our apartment. And we took calendars of with contemporary colors, and we would cut the calendars up and thumbnail them to the wall. That was quite a place to live. In the morning, they'd wake you up with the trucks unloading groceries or whatever. And right to the south of it,
They're talking to this.
right to the south of it was Prince Howard Furniture, which was probably the #1 furniture store in Kansas City. Anybody buy furniture from Prince Howard?
Yeah. Every Italian family.
Anyway, anyway, I hope you're not getting bored with all this. I'm having fun. Thank you. And across the street, over on that corner,
Talking to the microphone.
is McClure, Norton, Chevrolet, and right here, I think, I'm a little lost, was a theater. And this whole block had 2 dime stores, had Ribbons Rock Hill, men's shop, Ribbons Rock Hill, ladies shop, and Q&S Hosiery, Brewer Brothers Meat Company, had a Dostal Shoe Company, and Crown Drug Store. And in reference, it's something Lucille probably doesn't know, and her daughters don't know, that the Cerise, Joe Cerise, had a power plant on 9th Street, and he or his people talked this whole block from here,
where I was born, Aero Truck Sales.
where McClure Norton is, down to the end, where Crown Drug Store was, into using his electricity. and so they agreed to buy electricity from Joe Totera. And when he first hooked this up,
You're just used to.
there was a show here, and when they first hooked it up, it was Saturday, and then there's a streetcar barn to the south of this, and the streetcar guys usually came up to this and shopped with their wives, and the first night that it was on, the lights went out. Well, of course, the merchants were angry, the theater was angry, so they called Mr. Cerise up. He found out why the lights went out, and they turned them back on. And the next Saturday, they says, if the lights go out tonight, Mr. Cerise, your history. So next Saturday night, lo and behold, all the lights went out again. The merchants got very angry. They called the Kansas Power and Light and says, hook us back up. And that was the end of Joe Cerise's furnishing electricity. But you know, for a man that came from Italy with really not much education to build a power plant that he thought he would go in competition with the Kansas Power and Light is a lot of credit. I mean, how many people would have the guts to fight a major corporation? And he did fight them, and I think he won. He won.
But then he moved to 9th Street, and that's when he did the power plant and PG&L, cleared the Supreme Court and won. And they're still using the documentation of my father. But this here didn't work. But on 9th Street it worked, and the power plant, we shut it down after my brothers got killed. But I can always remember my dad having the power plant, and we still have the check that he never cashed. And he still was the first one to take public utilities and be able to use it. But that happened here, and I think it also happened when he was on Gillum someplace. But then he built a big power plant, which worked. I think these were generators that he was working on. But anyway, we still like Mr. Cerise. He did a hell of a job.
We're now by the Kansas City Art Institute. Margaret was on the board of the Kansas City Art Institute for 9 years, or maybe more. When she was here, she says, where do these students go at night to get refreshments? And they said they walk up to the convenience store, which was up on 42nd and 43rd and Truth. She said, if I had a daughter, I wouldn't send her here because it's not fair to send these girls with miniskirts on and whatever. So they said, Margaret, what do you want to do? And Margaret says, Jerry and I will build you a cafe. And they didn't believe it, but anyway, the cafe is called Nerman's. It should be called Margaret's Cafe, but it's called Nerman's Cafe. And they have breakfast, lunch.
Go ahead, sir.
This is a climax to the trip. This house here is 7804 Wood Parkway, and it's all due to Margaret Nerman's fault. We wanted to have a house in Leawood. We went to Leawood one Sunday, and we saw a house that we might like, and so there was an agent or sales lady out front. We got out of our car and started walking towards her, and I said, before we go any farther, we're Jewish. She says, I cannot show you the house, because Crow Brothers were very anti-Semitic. So we left her, Leawood's right down that way, and we came by here, and this was a dirt road that we're on right here. And Margaret said, and there were no houses, and so she says, buy that. And I said, buy what? She says, buy all the lots, all the vacant lots. So I found out that a Hamilton Crawford Realty owned it, called them up on Monday, and went down and met with them. They told me what they wanted for all the lots, and I gave them a $2,000 deposit, which was all the money we had. And then I felt happy that we all bought that property. I then saw a fellow, Schreiner, who gave me the name of 2 people to call that probably would be interested in building the houses and buying the lots. So the first guy I called says, you crazy SB, why would you buy a lot with a dirt road, buy all the property with a dirt road in front of you? And I said, I don't know, but are you interested in buying it, part of it, and building us a house? He says, hell no. Hung up on me, and he's still alive, that guy. Then I called another guy that Leo told me to call, and he was about as rough as the first guy. So anyway, we had the plans drawn by a guy that lived up the street here, Marty Rowski, who was my partner's cousin, and he was an architect. Charged me $150 to draw up the plans. Then we didn't know who we were going to get to build it and pay for it because we didn't have any money. So anyway, we heard about a guy named Sam Cinnamon. We called him up to see if he'd be interested. He came over to our house at 1538 East 48th Street Terrace, and he liked the plan, he liked the idea, and he says, are there any more lots for sale in that area? I said, because I priced the house. He says, I said, we own them. 6 more lots, or 6 houses there. And I said, he said, what do you want for them? Whatever we paid for them is what I wanted for them. We got this lot for free. So we built the house. In 1955, we moved in. Willis was 6 years old, and Margaret had painted his bedroom black with bright bedspreads, and I mean, it was a very colorful room. Along the way, she went to the hospital, and I called a couple guys in, and we built a downstairs. We'd already built the downstairs. We finished it, but you had to go out to the garage to get there. So what we did, we cut out the pantry. We put in steel steps, circular steps, which I think came from Aero Truck Sales. And when she came home, there was no pantry, but there was a way to get to the basement. It's an interesting situation. The taxes are very low on that house. We sold that house for about double what we had in it. Oh, I forgot to tell you. That house cost us $21,500. And we sold it for like 60 or 70, I don't remember the exact amount. But it was a good house, well built by Sam Cinnamon. Now we're going to 78, we're going to our home, and any of you have to use the restrooms, we have 3 of them. And that's it.
Nothing to say. I would just like to say, Dad, you did an outstanding job. Your recall for names, addresses is beyond amazing at 95 years of age, at any age, in fact. I just want to thank everybody
I'm speaking for Greg, Ashley, Sue, and myself. Thank everybody who's given up their Sunday afternoon to have this walk back in memory for my dad. It's been a lot of fun, and it means a lot to us that everybody was a part of it. Thank you for sharing your afternoon with us and celebrating Jerry's 95th birthday.